According to Forbes magazine, I just read this about 2 days ago, 90% of entrepreneurs fail. That was shocking to me. We've been hovering at around 50% for a long time. And now they're saying statistically it's 90. I mean, that's enormous. And when you look at what's going on right now with the middle class, and you look at how desperately people need that extra income so that they can put their kids through school, so they can eat decent food, so that they can just live a normal life. 90% of entrepreneurs failing is a disgusting statistic. It's like, whoa. And when I think about the people that I know who put their blood, sweat, and tears into their business, it's depressing. It's, you put your money, you put your time, you put your kids aside to commit to business. You want it to work. So that's what we're doing here. Welcome to Pitch Me Moms. This is where you're going to pitch me your business idea, and I'm going to talk to you about whether or not it's viable. Because this 90% failure rate thing, we have to stop that. We have to just stop it. We just have to stop it. So I'm going to talk about whether or not your business is viable. I'm going to talk about whether or not you're viable. I mean, just because you say you want to be an entrepreneur doesn't mean that you should be. You have to be committed. You have to be passionate. It has to be a non-negotiable, like your kids are. Like, you have to be all in. And you've got to have the right mindset, because there's going to be a lot of scary things, a lot of challenging times that happen when you're an entrepreneur, and you got to be ready to face all of that. So that's what we're doing here at Pitch Me Moms. I was just thinking the other day, someone asked me how I got started being an entrepreneur. So I told them this story about how I used to wait tables at this restaurant in Beverly Hills called Il Fornaio. And anyone who's from Los Angeles probably knows this restaurant. And I freaking hated it. Now, I stayed because I made money, but I freaking hated it because people freaked out about food. Like, people stressed out about their food. They were obnoxious about it. They'd eat all their food and then say, this wasn't up to standard. I want to return it. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I did my 2-minute check back. I came back. I asked you if you liked your food. Are you freaking kidding me? You want me to take your food back now and then go tell the manager that you want a refund and there's bones on your plate? So I freaking hated it, but I stayed because I made money. So this one day, I was working the morning shift. I would come in at 6:30 a.m. and something ridiculous like that. And we did breakfast. So this woman came in and she was like, I got to have breakfast. I got to have it now, and I'm in a hurry, and I want the oatmeal. And so she was in a really big, fat freaking hurry. And so I said, you probably shouldn't get the oatmeal because we make it to order, and it takes about 20 minutes. Nope, I want the oatmeal, and I want it now, and I want it fast, and okay. So I put her oatmeal order in. I don't know, probably 5 minutes goes by, 6 minutes, and I get the snap. That snap. Excuse me, waitress. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know if it's just a woman thing or if it's just an Amy thing, but don't be freaking snapping at me, because honestly, it's offensive. We won't even go there, okay? So she's doing the snap, and I'm already going, this woman on table 65, I freaking hate her. I'm talking about her in the back. Anyway, I walk over and I put my I'm a good waitress, gonna do my job well hat on. Yes, ma'am, how can I help you? Where's my breakfast? And I'm thinking, it's been freaking 6 minutes. I didn't say that part. It probably came out in my tone, but I tried to check my tone in, and I said, it's been about 10 minutes, and as I was saying, it takes 20 minutes, to make it, we make it to order. She says, I want my oatmeal, and I want it now. So I looked at her, and I went, okay. So I walked on over to the cook station, and I said, I need the oatmeal for table 65. And they're like, it's raw. I said, that's how she wants it. So they gave me the oatmeal, and I brought it to her. So I got fired that day. I freaking got fired that day. So here's the thing. I am not going to say that I was totally pissed off for being fired. Because, come on, when I brought Crazy Lady raw oatmeal, like it wasn't going to go down well for me. But as I'm packing up my stuff and I'm walking out, and the humiliation is starting to sink in. And I remember I got in my car and I started cruising over. For those Southern Californians, I lived in Studio City. So I'm cruising over Coldwater Canyon. And as I'm coming down that hill, I'm thinking to myself, are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, did I just get fired from a restaurant from waiting tables? Like, I just got fired from waiting tables. I'm embarrassed. I'm humiliated. I am a total freaking loser. And now what am I supposed to do? So I hated it there, but I didn't know what I was going to do. So I drove home, and I remember it was like a 2-week journey. I was so depressed, just honestly embarrassed, humiliated. I had to like call my family and tell them I'd gotten fired. I mean, and then I remember after about 2 days, the panic set in. Like, what am I really going to do now? And I wasn't eating. I was like drinking water, just feeling sorry for myself, just hanging out in the closet, bumming around the house, just feeling sorry for myself, like a pathetic lump. And so after, I don't know, it was something like, it was like 2 weeks. It's pathetic. I'm embarrassed to even tell you how long it was. And so one day I'm sitting there, and I think I got enough energy to put the music on. And I remember I heard that song. This will totally date me. Freedom by George Michael. Freedom. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but anyway. So I'm listening to this song, and it bugs me. I hate the song, and he just keeps saying it. Freedom, freedom. And all of a sudden it just hit me. It just hit me. Like, I was free. Getting fired meant I was free. I didn't want to work there. And again, come on. I knew when I went over there and I served her that food that I was pressing my luck. I wanted to get fired. I created that situation for myself. Getting fired meant that I could actually do what I had always wanted to do. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the courage to just go for it, and it was easy. I didn't have to step outside of my comfort zone, and I was making a lot of money at that restaurant, more money than some people make being an entrepreneur. So I had a good excuse, and many good excuses, and now I didn't have that excuse. And I remember I put in a mixtape. I suddenly got totally pumped up. I put my mixtape in. We used to have mixtapes. Again, I'm totally dating myself. And I started brainstorming, and it was like, okay, I always wanted to start a business. What business was I going to start? I started writing down all these ideas. My dad was in the vending machine business, and so I had always thought that would be kind of cool because I could do what he was doing, and he could teach me. And so that's what I chose. I chose to be an entrepreneur. And I'll never forget this. There was that moment where a rush of fear just wait a minute. I don't know if I can do this. Like, what if I fail? It just set in. And then I said, you know what? I don't freaking care. I don't freaking care if I fail. Who cares if I fail? And I certainly can't succeed if I don't try. And so there was this huge mindset shift where suddenly it was about what I could create, that getting fired was an opportunity. So be afraid and do it anyway. And I wanted to share this story with you because there's so many of us out there thinking, I want to start that thing and something's stopping me. And I'm telling you, it is going to stop you. You are going to take pause. You are going to be afraid. You're going to fail. Shit's going to happen. But this is your life. You get one life. And the only thing that is stopping you from where you are and where you want to be, from getting from where you are to where you want to be, is you, and choosing to go for it. So speaking of going for it, I'm so excited because we have this incredible guest today, Jasmine Jacobs, who's with us.
Hi.
And hi, welcome to Pitch Me Moms.
Thanks. I'm really, really excited to be on this show. I've been meaning to kind of talk to you about where I'm at and pitch you my idea.
Yeah, well, I'm excited because this is all about going for it, and that's what we're talking about today. So talk to me. What do you got, girl?
Okay, so to give you a little bit of a backstory, I've worked in talent management and development for a couple years now. I started off at a talent agency, and the reason why I even got involved in this industry at all was to kind of learn and soak in what it takes to become talent and understand the business a lot more. So it was a great learning lesson for me. But I've always had this deep passion to be talent, and I've always wondered what exactly it was. I went to school for broadcast journalism. I didn't really like reporting and doing news. I did not like being really a host. And I knew that there was like this niche of like people who are media personalities who have opinions, who want to share something with the world. So
Yeah.
for me, that's something that I've felt what I've always wanted to do. So I created this blog actually pretty recently. It's called luxgirl.com.
Can you say that?
And
Can you say that again?
sure, it's Lux Girl, Luxe,
Go.
yeah,
Okay.
GRL.
Let'sgo.com.
And it's a website that focuses on making women, especially young girls, more aware of the value that they have and placing a higher value on themselves. So the concept started because I guess
Okay.
a lot of
So
yeah.
wait. Hold on. So sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
That's okay.
I love the backstory, but and let's go there in a minute. Let's
Okay.
pitch me the idea.
Got you. Okay. So the idea is to create a site for young girls to go to. It's so that they can be inspired to change their life and to have more value in themselves and to basically, yeah, I mean that's really it. It's a lifestyle site for younger women.
Okay. So I'm on the site right now. It says call out sexual harassers.
Yeah.
Amber Kaufman's courage should change how we handle sexual harassment.
Right.
And then it talks about, you've got a few posts on here.
Hmm.
Um, why do you want to do this? Why does this
Well,
matter to you?
this
Really?
this matters to me because when I was growing up, I think I had some struggle understanding what my worth was. And so, especially
So
as
wait,
women, I think
so
for
hold on,
women,
let's talk about that.
yeah, sure.
Why were you struggling with that? What happened?
Well, a big incident happened, and this happens, to a lot of families, but my parents got divorced. So I think I took that pretty hard, and I think, especially for a woman, girls, people always say daddy's little girl. So I think for me it was just not having that father figure and just struggling with my identity and not
Okay.
knowing my worth.
Okay. I get the story, and
Yeah.
I get you're really explaining it to me from a kind of third person perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, you've risen above it perspective. What happened? Not what do you think happened? What do you like? This is a big deal to want to help people have more value in themselves. Why
Right.
does that really matter to you? Where did you feel insecure in your life?
I think when it came to dating and just believing in myself.
So, do you have
So,
an instance where that actually impacted your life?
um, yeah, I would say when I was in high school, I think like the types of guys that I chose, not, I mean, I don't want to necessarily say they were the bad boys, but I think I didn't take the time to really know myself and know what I wanted. And I think that's why I constantly dated, and I was always in like long-term relationships, but I never took time for myself. And I think I was just living, but not really with a purpose.
Jasmine, were you insecure?
Yeah, yeah, of course, for
Do you
sure.
remember feeling insecure when you were young or in school?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like, what was that like?
Um, it was for me, it it felt kind of shitty. It was like I just remembered. No, I mean, I was a very self-conscious, insecure person for sure, and I
Okay.
always
Do
tried
me a
to
favor.
like overcompensate for that.
So talk about that. Do me a favor. You know,
Yeah.
this isn't always easy to talk about these things. But at the same time, if you're going to start a business like this, like
Mhm.
really, and you're going to be that talent behind it, that one who's really going to make a difference with these people, you have to get in touch with why this matters.
Yeah.
You have to, people have to feel your struggle or you're not the best spokesperson for your business.
Right.
Okay? I'm not telling you to make something up, and I'm not trying to push for you to reach for some story that doesn't exist, but right now you're more presentational. And what I want you to do is just like relax for a minute. Take a breath, put your shoulders down, and just be with me for a minute. What was it? What were you insecure about? What was going on? What was happening?
Um, I'm trying. I really, I think it's hard for me to remember exactly where I was at, because it did happen so long ago. So I can't really give you like specific details of how I felt,
Okay.
because I do think that I've changed so dramatically since my
Since
childhood.
then. Now, is there some, are there other people that you know who, or who have seen that have been, that have just like made this like, I have to do this because this is what I've seen or experienced?
Is there other? I'm sorry. What
Other
was your
people
question?
in your life who've struggled with insecurity?
No, yeah, for sure. There's tons of people who have, for
Okay,
sure.
here's the deal. I went,
Yeah.
this is what, I went to the website, okay?
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
and let me tell you what I love about it. You have some
Mhm.
pretty shocking stories in there. So you're doing a
Mm-hmm.
really good job of like, those titles captured me. I looked at those titles and went, whoa, and I wanted to read them. So you're
Okay.
definitely going to captivate an audience with what you have. Okay.
Okay.
Right now, this is the deal. You don't, I know motivation and like getting this thing, you need motivation. You don't have a motivation for this business. And this
Right.
is key because when you hear a statistic like 90% of people are freaking failing,
Mhm.
you want to be one of the 10% that doesn't, you need to be committed and you need to be a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot more passionate than you are right now. Okay? This
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can't do this. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm saying right now, if you don't have some success stories or some horror stories of what people have went through, if you can't tap into your own insecurities as
Yeah.
to what would propel this business forward, there's no, I struggled. Let me finish that sentence. There's no motivation. There's no motivation. Every day you have to get up and find motivation to do your business. You don't have a boss. You don't have someone like Hank or Steve coming in there and saying, hey, you didn't do this, 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 and that, and I need you to get to it. Or this is what you
Right.
have to do or you don't get paid. You don't have anybody telling you you did a good job necessarily, and you don't have anybody telling you what you need to do every day. And so this is where the reality check is. When I say you have to be passionate, there has to be something that is propelling you forward to do this business. Like beyond anything else, or don't do it because you'll be one of the 90% who are going to fail. Okay, now I'm not saying it's not a
Yeah.
good idea. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we can't get there. And I'm not saying we can't create a plan. And I'm not saying that, you don't have some things in motion that are freaking awesome. And I'm also not saying that it isn't a brilliant idea because right now I have a 3-year-old and I'm going to tell you, I want her to be secure. I want her to stand grounded in her feet and not listen to the bullshit that's out there in the world. I want
Right.
her to know who she is. I want her to read your blog and the impact that it's making out there in the world. But right now, you need to connect with your business, and you're not connected.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And that's the thing is like what I've struggled with because I do have a day job, and it was kind of like what you were talking about with your story, of how you were working in a restaurant. I mean, of course, you were super not passionate about that, but it's like I find it difficult to work on my side business when I am just exerting all my energy throughout the day at my day job.
And that's why, by the way, two things are going to get you through: commitment and passion. The passion part is, I have to do this business. I have to do it because I want more than what I'm doing now. I have to do it because I have a 3-year-old who I want a different future for. I have to do it because I'm trying to support my family, okay? That's that commitment piece. So even when, like today, I'm going to shoot 15 videos. I got to tell you right now, today's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
I don't want to freaking shoot 15 videos. Thank you. But I'm committed to it. And so I will have a conversation with myself about what I'm passionate about, which is helping people succeed. And then in that moment, I'll be passionate about those videos because I'm passionate about what I do. So when I'm not feeling passionate, I can tap into it. Okay?
Yeah.
Excuse me, my nose is like, ah! So commitment is about doing it because you said you would. Motivation, people think motivation is something you wait for. I'll get motivated when I feel motivated. And when I feel motivated, then I'll do whatever it is I'm supposed to do. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that's so me. That's so me. I feel that
Motivation
way.
is a choice, girl. Motivation is a choice. Motivation is something that you choose. I choose to be motivated. That's a choice. Because right now, it's so easy to wake up in the morning and go, it's called state control. You wake up in the morning and you say, I choose today to do A, B, and C because I'm passionate about it and I'm committed. So you know what? If I have a cold, whatevs, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So those are the two things that you're missing right now. And those are the two things that put you in that 10% of people who are going to succeed. So one of two things, all right, you have to do. You need to find your commitment and you need to find your passion, or as much as this is a great idea, it's okay if it remains a great idea. I don't want you to lose time, money, and sleep over something that you don't care about. So the other option is you can go back to the drawing board and try to figure out what you are motivated about and what you are committed to and what you are passionate about, because that's what it's going to take.
Right. I totally agree. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank
helpful.
you so much for being on the show today. This is so important, people. We started this call with 90% of entrepreneurs are failing. They are. You have to be committed and you have to be passionate. So it's okay if you're not, but just don't start a business. It's that simple. Don't start a business. And if you are going to start a business, then make sure that you're going to be committed and you are going to do something that you're passionate about. Can you get passionate about something that you're not passionate about? Yeah, you can. Through choice, through commitment. All right. Awesome. Love it. This was great. Thank you so much, Jasmine.
Thank you.
All right. To everybody else, if you've got a business idea that you want to run by me, or you're questioning whether or not you're viable and whether or not your business is viable, email me at hello@amyapplebaum.com, and maybe you'll be our next guest. All right. See you next time on Pitch Me Moms. Bye.